This exhibition, Monet to Matisse, A Century of French Moderns, focuses on painting, sculpture, and works on paper, all created in and around Paris over 100 years. When you're here in Monet to Matisse, you see the very best of the Brooklyn Museum's permanent collection of French art. The Brooklyn Museum was a pioneer in our country of being very forward-looking and embracing then contemporary art in the United States. Collecting works by Monet, the very first paintings by Henri Matisse that entered the US in initially private, now public collections. You see all the Impressionists as a starting point, and that's our kickoff all the way through World War II. We close the show with great works from the 40s and early 50s by surrealists and cubists, artists redefining modern in their day. What we wanted to showcase in this exhibition is the importance of Paris from 1850 to 1950. It was the global destination for the art world in its day. And it was important for artists not just from France, but all over Europe and across the globe to make their mark in that city. Our show begins when Paris is 1.2 million people strong, and the large part of that population is actually from outside of its borders, especially in the art world. So you'll come in and see works by Monet, by Matisse, by French icons, but also works by artists in their same immediate circle from Hungary, from Russia, from the United States, including an African-American painter, Lois Jones, who was born in Boston but came to Paris, and that's where she realized for the first time in her life that the color of her skin didn't matter. And that's where she felt for the first time in her life encouraged and empowered and ultimately talented. So when you come to the show, you'll see the McNay in a new light. And that's not just you, that's on us redefining what we're doing for the community. So behind me, we've actually demolished the walls of the Stieren Center for Exhibitions for the first time ever. So coming in to see Monet to Matisse, you're at the front line, that very early moment of where we're headed. We're headed towards transparency. We're headed toward a greater emphasis on education. So also behind me, within the masterpieces from the Brooklyn Museum, we have moments where our educators have activated the show, creating bridges for every member of our community. There's a timeline, for example, a digital timeline that shows San Antonio and Paris side by side over those same 100 years. We're also investing in being inclusive at the museum and committing to every member of our community through going bilingual. So Monet to Matisse is also de Monet a Matisse, un siglo de el modernismo francés. Y cada obra, every work of art, has a label in both English and Spanish, as well as the entire introduction to the show. So bringing this exhibition from the Brooklyn Museum to San Antonio was a natural fit because San Antonio's great modern art museum, the McNay, was already focusing on French art long before we opened our doors in 1954. It's a credit to our founder, Marion Kugler-McNay, that really the show is here now because she was collecting the same artists at about the same time as leading museums in our country, like the Brooklyn Museum. So we've actually reinforced that conversation between our collections by installing our paintings and sculptures side by side, Brooklyn next to the McNay collection. And it's a marriage made in heaven. It's a very seamless collaboration that we provided for our visitors here.